Greetings from St Ives here in Cornwall. Now, how did this beautiful town came to the name St Ives? Now you see, legends has it that once upon a time there was a lady sent by God himself. Now St Ives wasn't always this beautiful, stunning, picturesque coastline that you see behind me. It wasn't. Now the very young princess was set to travel here to Cornwall with all the other saints. When she noticed that the other saints left without her. Now, she was left behind by the other saints simply because they worried that she would be too young to survive this treacherous journey to the UK. So much to her disappointment, she was devastated. And she got down on her knees and prayed to God for a solution. Now, legend has it, it was that moment she noticed a small green leaf floating on the Irish Sea. Much to her curiosity, of course, she poked this leaf with a stick to see if it would drown or continue floating. It was then she noticed the leaf began to get bigger and bigger. It began to increase in size. And from there, she placed all her trust in God and then embarked onto this leaf and made her way to the UK, Cornwall. And that's how this wonderful place got the name St Ives. Isn't that interesting? Now, not only did she safely complete this journey, she also got there way before all the other saints had reached Cornwall. And in honor of her bravery and work, this town, St Ives, was named after her. So you can actually easily argue that St Ives was sent here by God himself. Isn't that a wonderful story? Now, St Ives wasn't always this beautiful, picturesque coastline with blue sea and blue sky that you see around me. You know, all of this is the result of the development of the harbour and all the work he brought in. Now, of course, I'm not doing this story much justice, but if you do the museum tour or the church tour, because you can actually go out there and visit St Ives Parish Church, and yeah, the lady working inside that church absolutely destroys the story, kills the story. So do check that out, you know, if you ever got the time or you're in town or whatever. Now, in 2024, this place, I must say, still very much looks attractive with this picturesque coastline, blue seas and amazing cliffs. This would also explain why all the restaurants and bars are heavily priced. Parking's expensive, the hotels are expensive, the taxis are expensive, and it's quite interesting. So I can easily see why people travel from all over the world to come and visit this place. Most of all Brits. You know, it's a stunning place to be, especially here in what feels like summertime at the moment. But there is a dark truth to this place, something not a lot of people talk about. I do get the feeling that Cornwall just serves as a mostly second home for people with a little more money than the average person. And, you know, that would explain why almost every house is available for hire. Now look, I always say don't hate the player, hate the game. And truth be told, I mean, if I can afford a second home here, I probably would as well. So, you know, let me not be a hypocrite. You see, being here and speaking to people, what I've learned is not, of all the many people I've spoken to, not many of them actually live here in Cornwall. You know, for most people, they come here when the sun's out. For most people, Cornwall, you know, serves as a second home. And what I see when I'm here, I see struggling business. I see a decrease in actual local residencies here. You know, I kid you not, I've probably spoken to about 30 people today, and not a single one of them were able to tell me they're actually from Cornwall. In fact, one of the very last group of people I spoke to just happened to be my neighbour. They literally live down the road from me. So that's what's happening to this place. And this will probably explain why in St Ives, hotels are so expensive during the summer, or whenever the sun comes out. You know, some rooms are going as high as £500 per night. And throughout my time here, I've realized almost every single home that I pass, it's either for sale or there's a poster with contact information, you know, stating, if you wish to stay here tonight, call this number. If you wish to hire this place, call this number. So clearly nobody lives here. And the whole place is just being used as a business opportunity for people with, by the way, this is actually pretty crazy, guys, because not so long ago, this whole place was filled with water. And all of a sudden, it's empty. You can walk around the whole beach now. That's absolutely crazy how the tide could just vanish so quickly. Now, I won't lie to you guys, this is actually making me very hungry. Now, all this being surrounded by mussels and clamps, you know, it's made me somewhat hungry. And to be honest, it would be an absolute crime to come to Cornwall and not try a Cornish pastry. And to be fair, I've never actually quite had one before, so what better time than the present, huh? Right, found a decent pastry shop. Now, as you can see, I got my pasty, and I didn't go for a traditional one. Why, you may ask? I'm not a traditional kind of guy. So instead, I went for the cheese and bacon. And this is going to be the first time I've ever had this, so I'll let you guys know what I think in a minute. Now, some of you are going to be watching me eating this pasty, and you're going to be like, oh, Dollard, every time you eat something new or try something different, you always say the same thing. And that same thing being, it's not bad. Well, you know, what do you want me to say? Like, I'm sorry I'm not that famous TikToker that reviews food for fun. You know, I'm not Keith Lee. So, I'm sorry. Now, I'm walking around, I'm a little bit lost, I'm not gonna lie. I'm searching for the church, St Ives Parish Church. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure where I'm going. This place is like a maze. That doesn't look right. So, this is the church that was built in St Ives honor. Standing behind me is very tall, very, very tall. And I'm glad that I've actually found it. This church was actually named after the famous missionary princess that I told you guys earlier about in the story that travelled from Ireland to the UK on a leaf. And this church was built in her honour, of course, and was named after her. Which, of course, this whole town, St Ives, was named after her.